No, you know what? I'm going to do the dishes after. I'll do it later. Don't worry. I'll do it. Okay? No, I will. Oh, hi. I was going to do this video on how to overcome procrastination. That was bad timing. Okay, listen. If there's one thing I hear more than anything else is that people know what to do, but they can't get themselves to do what they know. They want to do the dishes, they're not in the mood, they're supposed to brush their teeth, they don't feel like it, they want to make their bed, but they'll do it later, they're going to wash the car, there's no time. This whole thing around procrastination has to stop. And in this video, I'm going to give you 3 simple techniques that are going to blow your mind and get you to stop procrastinating and live the life you deserve. Now, if you remember in school, you were taught this, but this is going to be a little revision. A body that is in motion tends to what? Stay in motion unless a force that is equal or greater exerts itself upon it to displace it. However, a body that is not in motion tends to stay not in motion unless a force equal or greater is exerted upon it. I'm going to give you 3 forces that are greater than the force of procrastination so you can start to displace procrastination and replace it with action. Replace it with an epic life. Replace it with the thing that you want to create and have, do, or be. Because procrastination needs to move down the line. It needs to be replaced with whatever your dreams and goals are. So let's get started. All right, so one of the things that happens is we're negotiating with ourselves all the time. We're having that conversation in our mind about, should I do the dishes or shouldn't I? Should I make my bed or shouldn't I? Should I hit the snooze button? Or should I get up? And the problem is that they're happening where? In your head. This first tip is called command and demand, which means you express it verbally. So what I do when I wake up is I literally get out of bed, and guess what? You do this already probably in your life. Have you ever told Siri what to do? Or Alexa? What do? You go, hey Siri, play rock and roll. Hey Alexa, what's the closest restaurant? You're basically commanding and demanding that it provides you with something. So all I want you to do is pretend you're Siri or you're Alexa and talk to yourself that way. So what I do is I get up in the morning and I literally first command and demand that Siri plays some really good music, like the Temptations or something really cool that I like. That puts me in a groovy mood.
Groovy, baby!
I know that's an old word, but I'm an old guy a little bit-ish, So once I have that established and then I kind of got the juices flowing and moving, I command and demand, I point it to bed and they say, I'm going to make you now. I'm going to make you now. So I'm commanding the activity I'm going to take. Very simple. Procrastination can be overcome if you take the conversation out of your head and you take it into the world. And there's something crazy about just making it real, about not allowing yourself to have a low volume narrative. Raise the volume, take it to your external voice, command and demand on the simple things that you want to do, and I bet you inertia starts to move out, procrastination starts to fall and melt away, and action and activity starts to become more favorable. That's what you want, is the environment to be more favorable for you to take action. All right, so if you haven't met my dog Tesla, this is my dog Tesla. He's a golden doodle and he's an amazing little loving dog. And he's always raring to go. I don't think procrastination is in his vocabulary. However, I will say this. Tip number 2 is I want you to think small. I want you to make it easy to succeed. I think the biggest reason that people don't eventually end up doing what they want to do is because they look at the entire mountain and they don't look at the next step. So If you're in a situation, I want you to crawl small and walk tall. Crawl small and walk tall, which means if you, let's say, have the dishes to do and you don't feel like doing them, just say to yourself, you know what, I'll do 3 or I'll do 1. And you break the cycle of inertia. Does that make sense? Right? We're looking to break that cycle of the body that's not in motion and train yourself that you can command and demand yourself to do something and initially your brain said, I don't feel like it. If you were to only do in life the things that you feel like doing, you're going to have a very low-level life. The key to success is to continually break that pattern, is for you to do the little things, to do one more tiny little thing. Crawl small to walk tall. Just brush one tooth. I don't know. Just do something that breaks the pattern of the inertia, right? So just think small. Think if you were going to climb Mount Everest, just say, you know what? I'll take the next step. If you have to do your budget, just find one bill, the electricity bill or your mortgage statement. Just fill in one little blank. Let me get something for you and I'll show you what I mean, is how easy it is to do. And you'll see a little bit. You can stay there. I'll be right back. So this here is some of my streams of income. And I fill in every month the different numbers that come in, okay? And I'm okay some days when, like, ideally I do it in one time. I go through all the 40 streams of income and I fill them all in. I go over with my accountant, my different teams, but because I have different companies, sometimes it doesn't happen with the same conversation. So I need to sometimes do it piecemeal. But every time I fill in one of those blanks, I get excited. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna complete the month of November or December or whatever it is. I got one more confirmation that the rent came in or that the dividend check came in or that my crypto account has gone up. So I'm okay with filling one in. So keep it small, keep it tiny. Remember this phrase is crawl small to walk tall, right? And when you do that, you're gonna see that the tiny little things work. You're gonna start to break the cycle of inertia. You're gonna start to move toward momentum. And when you do that, you're gonna understand the value of step 3 or of tip 3 that I'm gonna give you, and we're gonna wrap it together in a new package that will be you on fire. All right, so anytime we have something where we're overwhelmed or we're generally discouraged or we're feeling that there's too much to do is because we envision the entire mass of things that need to be done. We want to climb Mount Everest all in one shot. We want to clean the house and we want to balance the budget and we want to cut the grass and we want to take the kids to soccer, and we're like overwhelmed and it doesn't seem like it's worth it to do one thing. It just won't make a difference. So what I want you to do is break it down.
Break it down.
Right? Break it down.
Break it down.
Chunk it down so that each piece is now a success. Getting one dish done, yes. Getting all the dishes done, yes, 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 right? Getting the grass cut. Maybe you do the backyard first. Maybe you do the front yard after. Maybe you wash the outside of the car and you get the inside done later. You can break things down and get the small victories. That's the way that you're going to break the cycle of not taking action. Break down so you have a tiny, tiny little thing to do, but you can check it off, check it off, check it off, check it off. And that is how you're going to master tip number 2. All right, now in my book, The Power of Your Identity, I talk about the words that follow I am, follow you. What does that mean? If you say I am a procrastinator, you're going to have to show up that way. One of the strongest forces in the human system, psyche, personality is this desire to remain consistent with how we describe ourselves. If you say I'm a loser, or I'm lazy, or I'm out of shape, or I'm not athletic, and sometimes what happens is I ask some people, hey, do you want to come play volleyball? And they're like, nah, I'm not a volleyball player. Hey, do you want to go swim in the ocean? Nah, I'm not a swimmer. Hey, do you want to go for a jog? Nah, I'm not a runner. They keep on telling themselves what they're not. Now, if you tell yourselves what you're not, that means that you're not going to take action in that area. Does that make sense? So what about if we shift it now and we take tip 1 and 2 and we put them together and you can say to yourself, I am the type of person that enjoys taking small steps, tiny action, chunking it down, right? Small to crawl. I am that kind of a person. I am the person that takes action. I am the person that is willing to chunk it down. I am the person that will command and demand the better part of myself to show up. So tip number 3 is for you to do an inventory on your I am statements. And imagine that you have a higher self and a lower self. And when you're in your lower self, you're in that procrastination mode, which we all have. And when you're in your higher self, you have that take action part, right? The stuff that you like to do, the stuff that comes naturally to you. So think of all the words you use to describe yourself there. I am an athlete, or I am a chef. So now what we're gonna do is we just wanna take this part here, anything to do with procrastination, anything to do with not taking action, and we wanna repackage it into the I am of your higher self. So I am a badass. I am somebody who takes action. I am great with numbers. I am somebody who drives, effectively. I am somebody that's on time. Find the words that get you in your higher self, start eliminating the words in your lower self, so that you move from procrastination and anything that you identify with that kind of behavior, and you re-identify, you upload, you upgrade the operating system into somebody that is an action taker who commands and demands, who does the small things, and before you know it, you're gonna have a brand new character, or what I call an identity. And the power of your identity lies within how you language the inner narrative to yourself. I am, I am, I am. Stop the I am a procrastinator and change it to I am an action taker. I'm a badass. I make crap shit stuff happen. Boom, own that. And when you combine these 3, I promise you, you're gonna move from somebody that couldn't get yourself to do the things that you weren't in the mood to do, or you didn't feel like doing. Listen, I don't always feel like getting up at 4:30 in the morning and taking the dog for a walk and go to yoga class. I don't always feel like it, but I command and demand. Then I just take the next step, and I just put my jacket on. Make it easy for yourself to succeed and win. Life is far too precious for you to not take control of your operating system to get the most out of it, so you can get the most out of your life. Command and demand, small to crawl, walk tall, and work on your I am statements. I am a badass, and so are you.